So I was over at my friend's the other day because he was having a pretty big elm tree cut down and said I could have some of the wood. And after that, we were just kind of looking through his firewood pile that came with the house when he bought it. And I noticed a pretty decent sized log that was covered in burl. And since he doesn't do any woodworking or really even have bonfires, he was more than willing to part with it. So I got it home, and today I started to actually cut it up and cut some of the burl off. But when I made the first cut, I was pretty surprised as what was inside. You can see the outside, it just kind of looks like a normal piece of wood. But once I started cutting, it just had this amazing yellow color. And I really wasn't sure what this was, so I asked around on the local Facebook group, and a lot of people said mulberry, but one person was saying American smokewood. And I've read a lot on different Facebook pages that mulberry really tears out, and every time I've seen it, it's been fairly white. I turned some of this earlier and wasn't having any of those problems, so I think this might be American smokewood like he said. I cut up some of the burl already for some pens, and it does look pretty similar to all the pictures I've seen online. So I think that's what we're gonna go with. The outside of this is pretty much all burl right here. Almost the whole thing except for this section right here. So hopefully we can save as much of that and just get some really cool grain and burl going on. This log's been sitting out for a long time too, so it's fairly dry, but we'll see what it looks like once we start turning it as far as any cracks or voids or anything. So we may have to do a small amount of resin work, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So for now, we'll get this on the faceplate and then throw it on the lathe. this in the oven for a while now, and it opened up all these cracks, which is what I wanted. So I think what we'll do is fill these with black Starbond, because I think the black will look pretty good against this yellow. Now the other thing is we have this pretty big inclusion, I guess you'd call it, and it does go all the way through. So we're gonna tape that off, as well as this little cutout on the top here, and there's like a couple other little tiny spots. And we're basically gonna mold that up with the tuck tape, and then we'll pick a color and get some resin to fill that. Alright, so we're all molded up and I've got a small batch of resin, and I think today we're gonna go with this dark scarlet. It's kind of purpley, kind of brown, but it's super dark. Originally I was gonna do almost a blackish gray, but I think this will actually look really nice against the dark yellow of the wood. Alright, so this thing turned out awesome. This is the first time I've ever done anything with burl, really. And the character in this is just awesome. It kind of looks like a leopard almost. And the shine that Mylans gave it is also just really nice. I love the way that these cracks look with the black star bond. I think it adds a lot to it. I know some people are probably upset that I filled this with resin instead of just leaving it, but I personally really like it. The color I chose, it's not flashy, and I don't think it really takes away from the piece itself. So I still stand by my decision for that. And this thing is, it's just so cool. The burl just goes all the way through. Even on the inside here, you have just so much character. This is really the only part that has actual non-burl grain. So, like I said, very happy with this, and to think that this was just a piece of log that was in my friend's fire pile is just crazy.